All right, we are going live. It's going to be a little dark in here at first. Hold on, guys. Hold on, we got to send out some notifications. Then we can brighten it up in here. Let the Discord know that we are live. There we go. Pull up comments. Got to do that real quick. The usual, the usual. How's everybody doing today? Welcome, welcome, welcome. It is a Thursday. Thursday, about 3 p.m. So we're right on time for today's stream. We're right on time for today's stream. I was gonna do this stream yesterday. That was the plan. I was gonna do this stream yesterday, and it didn't work out that way because we lost internet, and we lost internet for the entire day. I had planned to do the stream earlier on in the day, and then that happened, and then I was like, well, if it comes back, we'll do it later on. We'll do it later on in the evening, right? We'll do it later on in the evening, but it ended up not coming back on until like 9 p.m. So by that time, I was just like, you know what? I've been busy all day. I've been doing things all day long. I just don't have the energy to put out a good stream, and I don't want to put out something that's shitty. So we'll leave it at that, and we'll come back tomorrow. So I apologize for no stream yesterday. What's up, Mike? What's up, Kristen? Welcome, welcome. We did send out the Discord notifications in the right spot, right? Okay, we're good. I believe we are good. Guys, we are so close. This is something I wanted to bring up today real quick. We are so close. Hold on. Let me get it pulled up. Let me get it pulled up. We are so close to 10K, guys. We are so close to 10K. We are at 9,883 subscribers. Oof. Oof. We are close, and I am excited. But anyway, welcome everybody. Today we're going to be talking about monkey mind, explaining how the mind operates. So, if you've been watching my channel for some time, you know, okay, you know that we stress the importance of not fueling that mind, of not fueling that negative, anxious mind. The two main keys, what are they? Live your life. Live it how you want to live it. And in the process, you do not want to get into a street fight with the mind, the monkey mind, right? Because that's just fuel. You are just fueling it, and that's a street fight that you won't win 9 times out of 10. So if you've been watching the channel for a while, you've already heard us talk about the importance of not following your negative thoughts. Sometimes we call it that. Sometimes we call it not fighting with your negative thoughts, just accepting them and living your life. But today we're really going to get into the details, okay, of explaining how the mind operates, how the monkey mind operates. In Buddhist tradition, they often refer to it as the monkey mind. So we're going to talk about that today. Brandon said, tried to get first. That was fast, man. You missed out. It was quick, though. You were quick, not quick enough. You were quick, not quick enough. But we're going to give it a minute or two, guys. Let some people get in here before we actually get started. As always, the YouTube notification bell seems to always be fashionably late. I don't know why that is. If you want to join us on the Discord, let me grab that link for you. Honestly, guys, the Discord is the absolute best way to get notified about the streams because I try to remember to always drop some ats in there to let everybody know, send some notifications over there before we stream on the channel. So if you want to get here faster than what the YouTube notification bell sends out, then join us over on the Discord. Right there is the link, completely free. So we're going to give it another minute or two, guys. How's everybody in chat doing today? Kristen, Mike, Brandon, how you guys doing? Welcome, welcome, welcome. Also, you may notice, I'm going to address this very briefly, that the tip goal is not the usual $40 amount. We've got long-term tip goal. We've got a long-term tip goal in place because I need to save up because Papa needs a new air conditioner. I need a new air conditioner. It is hot as fuck. I don't know how else to put that, but it is extremely, extremely hot. I am currently sitting by the air conditioner that I have now, and it just doesn't work. It's about 12 years old. Probably, actually, no, it's probably older than that. It's probably about 16 years old, and it's just a piece of junk, and it doesn't work, and it's absolutely boiling. It is absolutely boiling in my area here. So, if you see me sweating profusely, that is why. I'm not having a stroke. It is just extremely, extremely hot, and where I am at in the house, it is exactly where the sun hits. Right there. smack dab in the face. So you may notice we have a long-term tip goal instead of just a stream tip goal, and that's because I know it might take us some time to get there, and that's why it says long-term, because I do not expect to hit that in one stream. I would never expect that, and that's why it says long term. Anyway, that's why that's there. PJ, welcome to the stream. Cassie, welcome to the stream. It's 6:49 a.m. here. Just woke up. Moon had me crazy ass dreams. Is that what you meant to say? How much soda do you drink a day? I don't drink a whole lot of soda. I drink. I like Sprite. That's technically a soda, right? But it's like caffeine free. I do drink Coke from time to time, though. That'd probably be my favorite soda. But I don't drink a whole lot. I'm trying to keep the weight off. I'm trying to keep the weight off. I could drink easily like a whole 12 pack in a day, like no problem. I try not to do that shit anymore because I want to keep the weight off. Oh no, being too hot is the worst. It really is. It really, really is. I called our local Walmart and they were like, "We've got some in stock right now for 130." So that's what we're gonna. That was the cheapest one they had. So we're gonna try to go for that. All right, guys, let's go ahead and get the point of this stream started. We're about 6 minutes in. The monkey mind, in Buddhist tradition, it's often referred to as the monkey mind. We'll explain why in just a second. Explaining how the mind operates. Explaining how the mind operates. Now, as I just said, if you've been here for a while, you know we stress the importance of not getting into a street fight, as Moji calls it, with your monkey mind, because you're just going to fuel it. You're just going to pump it full of steroids when you get into a fight with it, and it's a fight you're not going to win. As most of you already know, or else you wouldn't be here now, it is a fight that you're not going to win. So that is why, with the two main keys that we have in place, it is live your life like you would normally live it. Live it for you. Be the person that you want to be despite anxiety. And the second main key, stop fighting with your monkey mind. Now, how does the mind operate? Why does it work this way? How does it work this way? What's the deal? What is the deal here? So, when you have a negative thought, when you have an anxious thought, you really have two choices in that moment. You can notice it, right? You're going to notice it either way, but you can notice it, and then what you do after you notice it's the important part. So there's that thought. I had that thought. It might be sticky. It might kind of play like a broken record. Most of the time it does. It might even cause a physical reaction. If I'm sensitized, it probably will cause a physical reaction in the body. Now, once I notice it, I have two choices. If we know the mind is a lot like a monkey, then what do I need to do? Do I need to try to argue with this monkey? How far are you going to get? Okay, and this is a great analogy. How far are you going to get arguing with a monkey? Are you going to get very far? Do you think it would be productive for you to argue with a literal monkey? Right? So, if I've got a monkey sitting beside me right now, let's pretend I've got a big chimp sitting right here. And he's just all over the place, right? He's screaming, he's yelling, he's talking a bunch of nonsense. I don't, you know, it's getting on my nerves. But how productive, okay, it might be stressing me out, but how productive would it be for me to get into an argument with this chimp? Probably not very productive. As a matter of fact, if I was to get into this monkey's face and start yelling at it and being frustrated at it and upset at it and telling it to shut up, shut up, shut up, shut up, shut up, I don't want to hear you, stop talking, stop screaming, stop yelling, right? And then I start getting upset, I start getting frustrated. Shut up, shut up, shut up. Do you think this monkey's going to listen to me? Do you think this monkey is actually going to take that to heart and say, okay, you're right. Maybe I should bring it down. Maybe I should bring it down a level and just chill out. You're right. You're right. Do you think that's going to happen with a monkey? If I was to get upset, if I was to get frustrated, if I was to get angry and start yelling at this monkey for yelling, right? Is that going to help the situation? Is the monkey going to listen to me? Would that be productive? Absolutely not. In fact, what more than likely would happen if I start fighting and arguing with this monkey that's sitting beside of me is the monkey's going to get more upset, right? The monkey's going to get more upset. He's not going to calm down. He's not going to listen to me and say, yeah, you're right, I need to chill out. He's a monkey. So if he notices that I'm getting upset, and if he notices that I'm getting angry and agitated, and I'm getting worked up with this energy, right, and I'm spewing it on to him, the likelihood of that working is slim to none. He is a monkey after all, right? But what more than likely is going to happen is that monkey is going to become more upset. He's going to become more hyped up. He's going to become more frustrated. And he's going to get louder. because now you're filling him full of your aggravated energy. You're filling him full of you being upset, of you being agitated. You are giving him more energy to go off of with your energy, right? So yelling at a monkey to be quiet and getting upset at a monkey to be quiet, to hush up, to calm down is not going to work. If anything, the monkey is just going to become more agitated. It's going to become more frustrated. It's probably going to get louder, right? So if I've got a monkey beside of me and I've got no choice but to deal with this monkey, nobody wants to take my monkey. I can't give him away. I can't call the animal shelter. They don't take monkeys, right? There's nothing I can do about this monkey. He's got to chill out on my couch with me. There's nothing I can do about him. If that's the case, just like it is with your monkey mind, right? Then you have to understand you have two choices. You can't yell at the monkey to get the monkey to be quiet. You can't get upset at the monkey to get the monkey to be quiet. You can't get frustrated or agitated or angry at the monkey or yell at the monkey and tell the monkey to shut up and try to get frustrated at the monkey. It's not going to work, right? So this is why in Buddhist tradition, and not even just in Buddhist tradition, but you hear it, even outside of Buddhist tradition, this is why the mind is often referred to as the monkey mind. Because the more you try to argue with it and fight with it and get frustrated at it, the louder it becomes, right? You're just filling it full of your energy. So the best, and really the only sensible solution that I would have if I had a monkey sitting beside me on my couch that I couldn't just get rid of. I had to deal with him, and he decided to be loud and upset and angry and scream one day, maybe for a while. The only really sensible solution that I have to that, since I can't get rid of the monkey, is to not fuel the monkey. Is to not get angry at the monkey. Is to not get frustrated at the monkey. Is to not get agitated at the monkey. That's the only sensible solution that I have in that scenario, since giving him away is not an option, right? And it's the same for your mind. So we see it all the time. We see it all the time, and I still see it today, even regardless of the countless videos I've made. I still see it today. People are trying to fight their minds away. They're trying to hush their minds up by forcefully fighting their minds, by trying to push and trying to pull. Understand that if you're going to start dedicating to living your life and not fueling that negative mind, and instead just accepting it and being neutral towards it and just allowing it to happen so that eventually it'll tire itself out, right? If you're going to dedicate to that, which is the two main keys in a nutshell, you have to understand something. There is no fighting, there's no pushing, there's no pulling when you're dealing with this monkey. And I want you to think about that analogy there. There's no pushing, there's no pulling, there's no fighting when dealing with this monkey. You can't tell a monkey to shut up. You can't scream at a monkey and tell a monkey to shut up and expect that to work. If anything, 9 times out of 10, the monkey's just going to get louder, right? It's just going to get more agitated. So I want you to think of that analogy the next time you decide, okay, today is a good day to live my life and to not fight with the monkey mind, right? Eventually now, eventually when you dedicate to that, although it might be annoying that the monkey is so loud, it might be frustrating on the inside, but as long as you try to remain neutral and just accept it for what it is, right? Eventually what's going to happen is the monkey's going to get tired. He's eventually going to get tired. Now, you might think to yourself, well, wow, this is taking a long time. He's got a lot of energy. Yeah, he probably does. But eventually, if you're not giving him more reasons to get more worked up, he's going to get tired and he's eventually going to say, I'm exhausted. I'm exhausted. I've got nothing fueling me. I've got nothing keeping me going. You're not giving me your energy. You're not giving me your time. And I'm just sitting over here screaming to myself. Nobody's paying attention. You're not even really that bothered by it. You know what? I'm tired. I'm tired. I'm going to stop screaming as much now. And eventually he's going to wear himself out. But see, as it stands right now, a lot of people are still trying to argue with the monkey. They're still trying to fight with the monkey. They're still getting worked up and agitated and fueling the monkey, fueling the monkey. They're getting in his face and they're shaking him and they're yelling at him and they're saying things like, I don't want to hear you. Stop talking. No, go away. Go away. And then they're trying to argue with them. Let me tell you something, buddy. Let me get into all the details about this and this and that with your irrational, with all your irrational screaming. So many people are still taking that approach and they're getting nowhere. And I'll tell you why they're getting nowhere. Because again, it's very simple to understand when you put it that way. How far would you get in the real world, in real life, with arguing with an actual monkey? I want you to think of this as a real analogy. How far would you get if you had an actual chimp that was screaming and yelling, and yes, it's frustrating, and yes, it's getting on your nerves a bit, and yes, you would rather him stop screaming, but this is reality. You've got this chimp and it's in front of you. How far would you get? And I want you to think about this again as a real analogy. How far would you get if you actually got into a verbal altercation, a verbal argument, and started screaming at this literal monkey? Would that be productive? Would it actually get you very far? Would the monkey actually listen to you? No, he's a monkey. And the same applies to your mind. Now, you don't have to like it, right? You don't have to like it. You don't have to agree with what the monkey says. You don't have to like anything about it. But you must remember the truth. You must remember the truth. Whether you like it or not, whether you agree with it or not, you must remember the truth that if you fight with a monkey and you start screaming at a screaming monkey, right? Or if you get upset at a screaming monkey, or if you get agitated and take it out on the screaming monkey, he's just going to scream louder. He's just going to scream louder. He's a monkey. He doesn't know any better, right? So whether you like the thoughts in your head, which of course you don't, or whether you agree with them or you don't agree with them, all of this is irrelevant. You just have to remember one thing, that the louder you scream at a screaming monkey, the more upset and agitated that monkey's going to become, which is not good news for you if you want the monkey to eventually become quiet. Now, as you're living your life, which is one of the two main keys, you live for you. You're the boss of your choices from now on. As you're doing that, you need to remember that you've got this monkey up there who's a little agitated right now. He's a little out of whack. He's a little crazy. But you need to remember that analogy. How productive is it for you to scream at a screaming monkey? How productive is it for you to scream at a screaming monkey? Do you think he's going to listen? Do you think he gives a shit? Let's be honest. He does not give a shit, and he will never give a shit. You can scream and you can scream and you can yell and you can yell, but as long as you're screaming at him, he's screaming at you. You need to let him scream himself out, right? Which means to become as comfortable as you possibly can. Perfection is not required here, but to become as comfortable as you possibly can with the discomfort of the screaming monkey. And eventually he will tire himself out. So, the next time you catch yourself during your day going to war with this screaming monkey, whether that's you saying, oh God, please shut up, or go away, or I hate you, or I don't like you, I don't accept you, please go away, stop, 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 stop. Whatever it is that you catch yourself doing, I don't know what you do, but whatever it is, whatever fight that you take with this screaming monkey, you need to continue to pull yourself back when you're doing that and remind yourself, why am I getting into a fight with a monkey? Why am I getting into a fight with a monkey? It's a fight that you're not going to win. You're fighting with a monkey. You realize that. This is not just an analogy. It is, but it's not. We actually can compare your negative intrusive thoughts to a monkey, to a literal monkey. So ask yourself, how far are you going to get by fighting with the monkey? How far are you going to get by screaming at a monkey? Right? How far are you going to get by getting agitated at a monkey? Right? How far are you going to get? How productive is it going to be for you to get into a pissing contest with a literal monkey? Probably not very far. Now, eventually, not instantly, 9 times out of 10, not instantly, but eventually, sooner rather than later, eventually, if you're not getting into a fight with this monkey, he's going to get tired, right? He's going to get tired. He's eventually going to get tired. Why? Because you're not working him up. He's already worked up, and then you're just working him up more. But if you don't work him up more, eventually he's going to say, wow, I'm exhausted. I've got nothing fueling me. Nobody's making me angry. Nobody's giving me their energy. I'm exhausted. I'm going to get quieter and quieter. And then he might take a nap for a bit. And then if you're sensitized, maybe he comes back screaming. That's fine. That's fine. Like I said, you don't have to like it, but you need to remember, how productive is it for you to get into a screaming competition with a monkey? Not very productive. Not very productive, and probably not going to work out very well. Right? So that was the main point of today's stream, guys. Monkey mind, explaining how the mind operates. That's a good one. I'm going to head into post stream. That was a good one. I like that one. I think the fight feels like getting back at him, like if my thoughts were real, grab them, beat the snot out of them for being such a torture to me. I guess I'm just angry. Well, as you see, that's not getting you very far, right? As you see, that's not getting you very far. So, you know, you can get into this fight with this monkey mind, but it's probably not going to get you very far. It's probably not going to get you very far. I got everything kind of messed up on the screen here, so let's just fix that real quick. Let's just fix that real quick. Alright, then I'll get comments pulled up. Alright, let's see. What's up, Olivia? What's up, Fee? Fee says I kind of want to pet Punky now. Yeah, so you got to constantly remind yourself, you know, how far is it going to get you? PJ says, train his ass to be quiet when you say so. Wrong. You don't want to start saying, oh, please shut up, please stop, please stop. He's not going to listen to you. He's not going to listen to you. But what you can do is you can train yourself to accept the thoughts that come and not fuel them. And eventually he'll get tired himself, right? So you don't want to give yourself the impossible task of making him shut up. It's not going to work. You can make yourself shut up when he's talking and screaming and yelling. Therefore he'll get tired because you're not pumping him full of energy anymore, right? So, right idea, but just needed to reword it a little bit. Is all anxiety due to sensitization? No. No, not all anxiety is due to sensitization. There's plenty of people that experience anxiety without being sensitized, right? Sensitization is just the point of very, very tired nerves. It's not something that everybody will experience. It's kind of like a peak, right? It's kind of like a peak. Kind of like a peak. So, you know, the term sensitization often gets confused for, um, you know, anyone and everyone who experiences anxiety is sensitized, and that's just not true. Sensitization is like a peak of the tired nerves. It's when your nerves become very, very tired, right? Look at it like a peak. Hold on, let me see here, guys. I'm coming down from a bad bout of sensitization stress dealing with family illness. I keep feeling like I'm forgetting to worry, like ghosts of anxiety come out of nowhere. Ever felt this? I keep feeling like I'm forgetting to worry. like ghosts of anxiety come out of nowhere. Reword that for me a little bit. Reword that for me a little bit. I'm sure I can relate to what you're saying, but just reword it for me a little bit, and I'll see if I can relate to it a little bit more. Yeah, you got the right idea, PJ. You got the right idea. You got the right idea. So, like I said, it's just a common misconception. Discord here isn't working. What, like the link? Is the link to the Discord not working, or are you already in the Discord? It's just not working, period. Woo. Alright. Alright, chat. Let's switch on back over. Let's switch on back over. If the link that I posted to the Discord isn't working, I can try to post it again if that's what you're referring to. When I see the thoughts and feelings for what they are, I notice my problem solving urge goes away. Yeah, so seeing the thoughts and feelings for that energy movement, right? The monkey, I'll be feeling fine and suddenly I'll get a physical sensations and start thinking, oh yeah, I was freaking out yesterday. Is that insert anxiety still a problem? Oh, okay. Okay, I see what you're saying. So basically just more attempt to problem solve, more worry about the condition itself, right? which is really the cycle and the loop for everybody, whether you're thinking about the past or you're thinking about the future, right? Damn, I'm late. I didn't get the YouTube alert. Wonder Bro, I'm here, brother. What's up, Sanchez? Welcome, dude. Man, that YouTube alert is just like it works 50% of the time. Sometimes it works, but it'll work like an hour into the stream, and then other times it just doesn't work at all. I mean, I guess if it's your best choice, you should still hit that notification bell, but it's kind of crappy to be honest. That's why I try to always let the Discord know that we're about to start streaming. I don't trust that YouTube notification bell. When I go to log into Discord, it just says it's a different location and needs to email me a verification that it's me, but no email comes. Dang it. Yeah, it's done that to me before. I don't know why that happens. It's something with the location services. It's like when you go to log in for some reason, if your phone randomly decide that it wants to change your location, if it's being wonky or whatever, then Discord will be like, "Oh, is it really you trying to log into this account?" And then they'll want you to verify it. It's happened to me. I usually get the confirmation email though. I normally get the confirmation email. Cassie, if you want to make a new account and join the Discord from a new account, then I can give you, the trusted member badge back and all that stuff, and then you should be able to bypass like all the wait times and whatnot. I don't know for certain if getting that role will help you bypass all that, but maybe. But you should be getting an email to verify. It's super easy. If you get the email, all you got to do is like it's got a link in it. And you just click it. Pretty sure that's how that works. I've got notifications on and everything to try and catch the live, but YouTube doesn't notify me. So yeah, I don't know why it's like that. It's really wonky. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't work. I don't know. It's really weird like that sometimes. So I try to always send out notifications in other places too. I don't know why it's like that. It's weird. It's weird. What's the weather like where you guys are from? What's up, Craig? It's all good. It's all good. Hey, if you guys are late to the stream, you want to watch it back, it should be uploaded. I try to make sure that always happens. Keep like a little archive of the streams. I know not everybody can catch them while they're happening, so I try to always make sure they get uploaded. For those of you who can't be with us live. It feels like 200 today. Texas is hot. Oh, I would imagine. I would imagine that Texas is absolutely boiling. I would imagine. You probably could, PJ. You actually probably could. So it's just like miserably hot where everybody is from. Got it. Noted. Noted. I can't imagine. Up in Canada, it's getting hot. It's just hot where everybody's from apparently. Probably not as bad as south though. I'm gonna see exactly how hot it is. Let's see. 80 degrees. 80 degrees. And that's probably like, to some people, that's probably like nothing. But, whew. It's not even that it's that hot outside. Like, I don't know how to explain it. It's not even that it's that hot outside. Like 80 degrees, that's not too bad, I guess, right? But it's just like in this area, it's just it's clammy and it's stuffy, and it's just where I think it's where I've got so much crap, like just as far as the PC, which just runs really hot already, and just everything that I've got going on in here. It makes the entire room, especially on a relatively hot day, it just makes the entire room very stuffy, and it's not good. I don't like it, but I'm accepting it. Right? I'm always too tired. Sigh, maybe from meds, pretty uncomfortable. Ugh. All right, let's see here. Yeah, yeah, exactly, PJ. Let's try to get some music going, guys. Whew. Yeah, exactly, PJ. All the electronics, like this big ass PC and everything, all the hot air that it blows out just makes the entire area a lot hotter than it has to be or should be. Just makes it really stuffy, basically. I don't know. For the past like 4 or 5 days, I've been sleeping without a blanket, which is not like me. I normally I can't sleep unless I've got some sort of blanket. I feel like that mostly everybody can agree with that, but I just cannot do it these past 3 or 4 days. It's too damn hot. It's too damn hot. 63 degrees and the wind is blowing, making it feel colder. I'm pretty sure it's supposed to storm today too, which will make it nice and humid. Give y'all our winner. Hey, I'll take it. No, I won't actually. No, I won't. You can keep it actually. On second thought. On second thought. Well, I've got two fans going. I've got two fans in here right now, which I mean, normally that's, that's enough. Normally that's enough, but I just feel like the fans are just hitting me in the face with hot air. Like it's just, I don't know. I don't know. It's not been pleasant. It's not a huge deal, but it's not been pleasant. And the funny part is it's only my area. You can go like anywhere else in the house and it's not that bad, but it's the side of the house that I'm on, and again all of the like electronic stuff that I have in here for the streams and everything. Um, it's just it adds up and makes it very stuffy in this one particular area of the house. Power prices have just gone up. Our winter bill is now estimated $406 per month, and that's with no one home during the day at our house. Jeez. What if we all fry like bacon? We're getting there, man. We're slowly getting there. We're getting there. I don't know. I don't know why the music slider's always so low. There we go. Is that like a comfortable volume? Is that okay? Sizzle. Hey, hopefully it doesn't get that bad. Hopefully it doesn't get that bad. I was on TikTok yesterday. I finally caved in and went for the whole TikTok thing. And actually, it's not that bad. So there's a lot of cool videos on there. I was looking up like the DIY tutorials on making like making like makeshift AC, right? So there was one where this guy took like two empty Sprite bottles, cut the top off, emptied it out, filled it up with ice, and then like stuck it on the back of the fan. And I was like, I was kind of hype. I was like, you know what? I'm actually gonna try that. I'm gonna give that a go. And then I started reading the comments, and everybody was like, "You're wasting your time. Don't do it. It's not that great." And then you constantly have to empty out the melted ice out of the water bottles and fill it back up. That's a lot of work when you're boiling. That's a lot of work when you're boiling. So I didn't give it a try. But if anybody out there that wants to give that a try, you guys said it's really hot where you're at. Give it a go. I don't know. It might work. I don't know. Can you give me a quick recap, please? Hey, what's up, Will? I can. So today we talked about the monkey mind, explaining how the mind operates, and it's basically we just gave an analogy. We gave an analogy for people to hold on to, and that analogy is if you had a literal chimp, I'm talking about a literal monkey in your room, like on the couch beside of you or walking beside of you or whatever. I want you to imagine like a literal, actual, living, breathing monkey, right? And you had to keep this monkey. You couldn't give it away. There was no giving it away. There was no locking it up in another room. This monkey was basically tied to you with a ball and chain. Like you couldn't get rid of it. Now, let's say you're actually in this situation where you've got a literal, real, breathing monkey, an alive monkey, connected to you with a ball and chain. There's nothing you do about it. And this monkey decides he's going to scream and yell and get upset, right? How productive would it be for you to then get upset and scream and yell back at the monkey? To get down in the monkey's face and say, shut up, shut up, shut up, shut up, shut up. And then get all upset and get all flustered and get all angry and agitated. You've got this monkey tied to you with a ball and chain, right? I'll get to whatever that tip is in just a second. I can hear it. I can't see it, but I can hear it. So how productive would it be for you to get down in this literal monkey's face that you have connected to you with a ball and chain when he's screaming and yelling, and to scream and yell back at him? He is a monkey, right? He is a monkey. What good would it do to get in his face and shake him and yell and scream at him because he's screaming and yelling? Would that be productive at all? No, the only thing it would do is make the monkey even louder. He would get more angry. He would get more frustrated. He would get more upset because you're in his face screaming and yelling. So, yes, it may be annoying that you've got a screaming monkey tied to your hip. It may be frustrating that you've got a screaming monkey attached to your hip. But how productive would it be, again, to get down in this monkey's face and scream and yell at him because he's screaming and yelling? It wouldn't be productive at all. He's a monkey. He's not going to listen to you. The only thing that's going to happen is he's going to get more angry. You're going to give him more energy. You're going to make him more upset. And you can't get away from him because you're attached to him with a ball and chain. So now you've just pissed him off even more, and he's gotten louder because he's noticed you're getting upset, and he's noticed you're screaming and yelling at him, so he's screaming and yelling louder, and you can't toss him away because he's attached to you with a ball and chain. So we go through our lives screaming and yelling at this monkey that's screaming and yelling, and then we're just going back and forth. We're screaming and yelling. That makes the monkey scream and yell even louder, and we can't get away from him because he's attached to us with a ball and chain. So now we're just in a pissing competition with a monkey our entire life, screaming back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. He doesn't run out of energy as long as you're screaming and yelling. He doesn't. You guys know that to be true, or you wouldn't be here on the channel right now. So you really have two choices when it comes to this monkey that's attached to your hip. You can just be okay, as much as you can be, with the fact that he's screaming and yelling and go on about your day, and eventually he'll get tired. And eventually he won't make it a habit to scream and yell as much because he knows it doesn't get him anywhere. But at the same time, if you get down on his level and start shaking him and screaming and yelling at him, he's just going to get more hyped up. And that's the position that most people find themselves in. So if you want the monkey that you've got tied to your hip to eventually be quiet and eventually stop making it such a habit to scream and yell, you've got to teach him that you're not going to get on his level. Right? Because again, I want you to think of this as a real analogy. If you had a real monkey attached to your hip, would it be productive to scream and yell at this monkey for screaming and yelling? No, it would only make the monkey more upset. Right? So I hope that brief little recap of today's stream was helpful for you, Will. Why is it all slow songs today? Come on, give me a break. Nothing but slow songs today. Come on, we gotta find something better than this. There we go. Oh, Cassie, I totally forgot. You did send a tip. Thank you so much, Cassie, for the $10 tip. Says you need the cool. Hey, I appreciate it so much. I appreciate it so much. Thank you, thank you. That is what I am saving up for. Thank you so much, Cassie. I appreciate it. Also, we got a tip from Jerry, a $5 tip. Thank you so much. I appreciate both of you. Thank you, thank you, thank you, guys. Thank you, thank you, thank you, guys. I appreciate it. You may have noticed that it says long-term tip goal because I don't expect to get, I don't expect to hit that within one stream or anything. So, long-term tip goal. I'm saving up to replace my AC because it's busted and I've had it for like 16 years and it just doesn't want to work anymore. Like, I can feel it. It's right beside me. I can feel the cold air, but not like it's supposed to be. It's not enough for this room. Like, it's making a very miserable attempt to be an air conditioner, but it's missing the mark by like a fucking 100 miles. So yeah, I'm trying to save up for a new one because it's not cutting it and it's miserably hot in here. That is really, really helpful. Yeah, I know. I mean, a lot of times when we talk about acceptance, it really helps to have an analogy to go along with it. It really does. And when you can think of it like a literal monkey and how if you fight with a monkey, it's not going to get you anywhere. Like if you actually fought and screamed at a literal monkey, you're going to waste your time and the monkey's just going to get louder and you can't throw the monkey away because he's attached to you with a ball and chain. So I'm glad that was helpful for you, Will. Put on some Megadeth. Dude, I totally would do stuff like that, but I got to go with copyright free music. It's kind of a bummer. Best non-AC way to cool down I found is to soak a towel in water, wring it out so it isn't dripping, lay that on your skin, head, whatever, and sit in front of the fan. The evaporation feels sublime. I might have to give that a try. Did you ever hang up or fly out of somebody's house or something like that and had to make an excuse as to why you had to leave after the fact? I've never during my journey ran out of a social situation due to anxiety because usually I was too afraid of being that embarrassed. But I have canceled plenty of plans during my journey due to anxiety. I've had plenty of ups and downs, and before, especially before I even knew about acceptance, I was canceling plans left and right, right? It's a very common thing for people to do. Any advice, Chris, about how to process events in the past that just replay again and again, especially when waking, even though you're not engaging with the thoughts? So, this monkey that you've got attached to your hip, Frank, it's in a habit of screaming and yelling because you've screamed and yelled at it for so long. It's a very angry monkey right now. And just because you've stopped entertaining him and you've just let him scream for a week now or 2 weeks now or whatever the case may be, doesn't mean he's going to learn overnight to stop screaming. It might take a little bit of time. It might take a little bit of time. And that's fine. That's fine, Frank. That doesn't mean that you're doing anything wrong, dude. In fact, you should be very proud of yourself. It might take a little catching up for this monkey to learn, dude. And that's fine. If the dollar here was a stronger, I could send more. Oh, you're good. Nobody, listen, guys. Nobody is required or obligated to donate. I normally don't do actual goals where I'm trying to specifically buy something. Like I've only done that I think one other time on this channel, or 2 times maybe. Normally it's just a tip goal, but the same thing applies to the regular tip goal. You don't have to tip. I'm not gonna have a stroke. I'm not going to die due to the heat. It's not that urgent. It's just something I would like to do eventually because it is pretty hot. But I'm not gonna fall over and die anytime soon. So it's it's not urgent. You don't have to feel obligated to donate or anything like that. It's just something I would like to do, but I will survive if I'm not able to. It's no big deal. It's no big deal. So you just avoided it altogether? Before I knew about acceptance, dude, I avoided everything I possibly could. I was too busy Googling. I was too busy making myself miserable to even think about having plans. What the hell? What is a plan? Like that, you know? Like before I knew about acceptance, I was the absolute worst at just sitting around doing nothing and Googling and making myself miserable and avoiding life in every way that I possibly could. Like that was me. That was me. I didn't know any better. I didn't know any better. Portable AC unit. I've got one. I'll ship you that my son's not using anymore. JK about Megadeth, dude. I wish I could play Megadeth. You don't have to worry about that, Defender. Like I said, nobody's obligated to do anything like that. It's just completely optional. Moji let go of the banana thoughts video. Okay, I was wondering what the link is, Terry. Cool, cool. I think I know exactly what video you're talking about. Yeah, see, I don't have a PO box or anything like that set up right now, Defender. People keep telling me to, and I need to one day. I need to set one up one day. I keep waiting until I grow the channel a little bit before I set up a PO box to where it'll actually be used like frequently, but being hot sucks though. Yeah, I mean it sucks, but I'm not going to die from it, so it's not that urgent. Just as always, the tips are completely optional. I mean, I've got this like 16-year-old one. I mean, it's trying. It's doing its best. I can feel the cold air, but it's like it's literally right beside me and I can't feel it hit me here. That's how pathetic it is. So, all right guys, we're going to switch to post stream real quick. It's possible, PJ. I probably went crazy a long time ago. I would elaborate on that joke a little bit, but there's probably people here that actually have that fear. So, which you have to embrace and accept. So technically, I should make the jokes anyway because you have to embrace and accept at some point if you're going to get over your triggers. But for now, I'll hold off. Heater here has two settings. You can't feel me at all if you're over a meter away from me, and the other is I'll mega burn everything you own. Right? Right. I mean, this AC's got two settings. It doesn't matter which one you put it on, though. It doesn't kick in fully, so it's busted. Somewhere in there, it's busted. I don't exactly know what's wrong with it, but it's not doing what it's supposed to do. I've got two brain cells left, and they're both fighting each other. Same. I'll tell you, it's ironic running a mental health based support channel like this because, on one hand, you know that people need to face and accept their irrational thoughts and triggers and in order to overcome them. But on the other hand, you don't want to purposely trigger people. You try your best to make sure that people aren't purposely triggering other people. So it's kind of ironic. On one hand, people do have to face their intrusive thoughts and feelings and accept them in order to overcome them instead of fighting and fueling with them, right? Fueling them. But on the other hand, you don't want to purposely trigger people who don't know the advice yet. So you're trying to find like that perfect balance. It's work. It's work. Yeah, yesterday our internet was out all day, so I took advantage and I shampooed the entire house again. These carpets are so bad, I'm trying to go over them twice everywhere, but tried to turn a unfortunate event into a productive, positive thing, right? I hope you get that bike one day, Cassie. I really do. I really do. And if I had all the money in the world, you'd already have it. It's weird. Like today, I'm not bothered by an effing thing. I can hear or watch anything. Other days, I see a fly and think it's got to be the only killer fly in the world. That's how it happens sometimes, dude. Ups and downs. But it's not bad to have those bad days because that's when your brain's learning the most. You've got to activate the fear pathways to generate new pathways. Basically, meaning when you're anxious, that's when your brain is learning. It's seeing you accept. It's seeing you just carry on with your day. It's seeing you not fight with the monkey, right? And it's learning because of that. Alright, we're getting back to the setup. Back into the oven. Back into the oven we go. I mean, don't get me wrong, PJ. It's great that you're having days where you don't have to deal with that crap. That's awesome. Obviously, you're doing something right. But on the days where you do have to deal with that crap, you need to remember that those days are fundamental and they're important. They're crucial to your recovery. What do I value in life? Honestly, this channel and, of course, my family are probably the two things that I value the most in life because with this channel, I feel like everything that I went through, and even though at times it was extremely difficult, especially before I knew what acceptance was, even though it was extremely difficult, it led to me being able to help other people not have to feel that way and eventually learn how to accept it to overcome it. And so that means the world to me. So I wouldn't trade this channel for the world. So that's probably the two things I value the most in life. I mean, I know sometimes I get on here and I don't have all the energy in the world, and I might not seem totally enthusiastic some days, but that's just being human, right? But at the end of the day, I wouldn't trade this channel for anything. I mean, I honestly feel like in my heart, this is what I was meant to do. So I love it. My monkey lives to tell me I'm going crazy, that its sole purpose in life, entire life force goes into that. We got to remember that the monkey's purpose, it seems to tell you, is that you're going crazy, but only because the first time that he started screaming, hey, you might be going crazy, you injected him with steroids at that point. So now he's really on it, right? But you can start to reverse that now with knowing not to fight with the monkey, and eventually he'll get tired. You didn't know that at first, so you can't beat yourself up about it. But that's why the monkey is so determined now to say the things that he's saying, because before you knew the truth about how to deal with it, you were injecting him full of steroids without knowing any better. So, but now we can start to reverse that. Oh, I'm getting tongue tied. I am getting tongue tied. And that might not happen overnight, Cassie. That's fine. That's fine. Work in progress. Do you think we all have a purpose or otherwise? Kind of like, do I think there's like a predetermined destiny type thing? I don't know. I don't know about all that, but I do know that you can make your purpose whatever you want to make it. If it's important to you, it's important to you, right? And you don't have to give an explanation to anybody else. I believe that if it's important to you and you want it to be your purpose, I don't care how small it is, then there you go. There you go. I don't think you have to do necessarily anything big in order to live out a purpose. I think it just needs to be important to you, and if it's important to you and it makes you happy, then that's your purpose. Go for it. Just live your life. Exactly, Cassie. Exactly. And like I said, it's a learning process. Don't hold yourself to impossible standards of being perfect at this and never fueling your monkey ever again, right? You might have days where you accidentally do that. You might have days where you got to stop yourself from doing that and be like, "Oh crap, I'm doing it again," right? You might have those days. That's part of practice. That's why Dr. Claire Weeks loved the word practice so much, because she knew better than anybody that nobody's perfect and that this takes practice. She knew that better than anybody. And that's why if you counted the word practice throughout all of her books, probably hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of times she said the word practice. So think about it. If you're in the process of practicing this, the two main keys, living life, how you want to live it, and not fighting with that monkey, and you have days where you're not great at that, and you start yelling at yourself for that, you're just getting the monkey upset again, right? It's ironic in that way. So you got to accept that, you're not perfect. When it hurts like this. I want you guys to kind of keep that analogy in your head as you move forward. It'll make it a little bit easier for you next time you catch yourself fighting with it. Exactly, Cassie. You're catching on. You're catching on. You're going to be fine. You're catching on. You've got the idea down. You've got the right idea. You're just practicing implementing it. So you're going to be fine. Might take a little bit of time. I don't know. But whoa, holy crap. Can we spam the chat real quick, chat, just to get the chat to scroll up on the screen? Where's that one song that I love so much? I know it's in this playlist somewhere. There we go. There we go. Oh no, is that an ad? Yeah, it was an ad. I did not catch it in time. Oh well. Oh well. I'll just have to deal with the emails later. Wait, I've got a... Hold on, we've got a comment that was held by the bot for some reason. There we go. By following your advice, some of these thoughts come and doesn't scare me anymore. I'm like, whatever, I got shit to do, but the brain always try to find new ones. Yeah, the monkey's kind of like that. He's kind of like that. But obviously you're on the right track. Going to work today soon. Anyone want to take my shift? Running a motel? Yeah, I was about to ask. Thank you so much for all your help, man. No problem, dude. Yeah, your comment got held by the bot, I think because you said the word shit. I don't know. It's weird. But I'm glad I checked the comments or else I wouldn't have seen that. Yeah, that's kind of out of my control, so... The only Claire Weeks book that I've read is Hope and Help, which pretty much covers pretty much everything that we talk about here on the channel. But of course, I'm not going to turn people away from reading it. Like, if you want to read it, absolutely. But if for some reason, I mean, maybe you're not a big reader or something, but which is fine too. You can just watch the videos. I mean, everything that we've talked about today, for example, I mean, that's pretty much all of it in a nutshell. But if you want to read the books on top of that, that's great too. As long as you're using it, right? I always say that, as long as you're using the advice. Who runs the bot? It's like a YouTube thing. It's not a bot that I have in place. It's a YouTube thing. It just automatically holds comments that it finds, I guess, with curse words. I don't know. It's weird. And there's no way to turn it off either, I don't believe. Your videos helped a lot. So honestly, everyone were telling me to be strong, but by doing your method, big difference in 2 weeks with acupuncture as well. I never tried acupuncture, but I'm really, really glad that the two main keys helped you out, dude. Just keep it going. Keep it going. How do you deal with exhaustion while recovering? It makes it so much harder to go live my life. So, exhaustion, being exhausted, I mean, that's going to happen as you start to dedicate to this. After all, you are going through a lot of big changes, right? And it's okay to relax. It's okay to rest. But when we say live your life, we simply mean if you're spending all your time in bed just because you're afraid or hiding from anxiety, then that's a problem. But if you're just relaxing, if you're just resting, if you're giving yourself a break because you're truly exhausted, there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with resting up, right? There's nothing wrong with resting up. There's nothing wrong with going at your own pace. Live your life simply means just live for you and not for anxiety. Let's see. Got somebody new over in the Discord. That's awesome. Invite. Yeah, which is the common mistake made by everybody. So don't beat yourself up for it. It's the same as fighting with the monkey. Again, what we talked about today, which is the common mistake made by everybody. So it's not like you're a special case or you deserve to beat yourself up over it or anything. There's a Discord link, guys, if anybody wants to join us over on Discord. We've got somebody new joined us over on Discord. We got an ad coming up. What's going on? Oh, there we go. There we go. Yeah, exactly, PJ. It's just a cycle. It's just a rabbit hole. Fall further and further down it. I was wondering how you turn off panic during panic. By asking that question, you're going to get more of it. So you see the ironic cycle here. You say, how do I turn off panic during it? That's a surefire way to start worrying and to work yourself up. You need to do the opposite. You have to do the opposite. If you go into panic asking yourself, okay, how do I make you go away? You're already in a mindset of second fear. You're already adding second fear. So you're sending more danger signals, right? So you've got to let it sink in. You have got to let the realization sink in that the more you fight with these feelings and thoughts, the more you get agitated, the more you're just asking for it, right? You're asking for an increase because second fear is the act of asking yourself, okay, how do I make it stop? If you want to make it stop, which eventually panic is going to pass either way. Eventually, panic is going to pass either way, whether you're adding second fear or not. Panic is a bit different than just sensitization anxiety. Panic itself is eventually going to peak and pass either way. But you got to understand that the more you worry about these thoughts and feelings, the more you're just giving them energy. The more you're just giving them energy. Instead of asking the question, how do I turn it off? Say to yourself, I accept it for what it is. You can be there if you want, right? You've got to start taking the opposite approach. You've got to start taking the opposite approach. You do not want to get into that habit of adding that second fear, which, I mean, of course, we all were at one point, and that's what we're trying to break. All right, guys, I'm going to switch to post stream real quick. PJ got it. He nailed that one. If your monkey mind is panicking, you can either fight with it and then that'll make it more agitated, or just let it do its thing. Yeah, Craig, you have to understand, dude, this is not about finding some magical solution to turn your thoughts and feelings off. That's not acceptance. That is not acceptance whatsoever. You should never ask yourself the question, how do I make these thoughts and feelings go away? Because that is a surefire way to keep them around. Because you're fueling them with resistance, right? So you need to adopt an approach instead of, what we've always talked about here, acceptance. You need to drop that whole how do I make it go away mindset and switch that completely around. If you want to make true progress, switch that completely around to I accept these thoughts and feelings. I'm not going to compulsively fuel them with my fight anymore. And that applies to the feelings too, not just the monkey mind like we talked about today, right? All right. All right, let's see here. I love how awesome you are at this. You'd beat any therapist any day. Hey, I mean, I'm not a therapist. I'm not a doctor. I'm just a guy who's been there, done that. Whether anyone actually takes what I say to heart and uses it is completely up to them. But I will say this. It's becoming more and more, I guess you could say, common these days for the research to support the fact that most therapies, okay, that have you getting involved in fighting with your thoughts is actually causing the opposite effect to happen. Like that's becoming more and more well known these days, and that's why you're seeing things like acceptance therapy popping up more and more these days, because finally we're starting to catch up. Finally, we're starting to catch up with the truth, which is the more you fight with the monkey mind, the louder it becomes. Finally, that's starting to become accepted. That's starting to become acknowledged, and it's starting to become more and more popular these days. And you're starting to see it. You're starting to see that reflected in therapy these days. It's starting to become more common to be introduced to acceptance therapy rather than fight, fight, fight. Right? So it's starting to become acceptance is starting to become more accepted. We're starting to see the truth behind it, which I love it. I love seeing that. But you know, hopefully that ball just continues to keep rolling, because it truly is the way. It truly is the way. After your anxiety, did you feel crappy in the mornings? I feel like anxiety may come, but it doesn't. I always wake up at the same time. I get about 4.5 to 6 hours of sleep, but anxiety is gone. That is awesome. So chances are you're just feeling a little bit of fatigue. You're just a little bit still shaken up from the experience, from your journey, right? Your body, basically, your body and mind's tired. But hey, obviously you're on the right track. You should be proud of yourself. Absolutely should be proud of yourself. Hi, dealing with bad emotions these days. I'm trying to accept it, but it's hard when you have negative thoughts and feelings like you don't feel like doing anything. I would like if you made alive with emotions, how you go accept them, but don't act like them or don't be them, because I have a problem with that. So much problem. So you got to see them as something separate from you. You've got to start seeing them as something separate from you. So you have these feelings and you have these thoughts and you immediately take them personally. So there's your power conflict, there's your struggle, right? So you have to start seeing your feelings as something that come and go, your thoughts as something that come and go. You get the point, right? Cassie, Cassie, thank you so much for the $5 tip. Thank you so much for the $5 tip. I appreciate you. That puts Cassie at 15 total for the day. Thank you so much, Cassie. I appreciate it. Thank you, thank you. Let's get a shout out to her in chat, please. But I hope you get what I'm saying by that, Arnold. You got to start seeing these feelings and thoughts and not taking them as personally, which means you have to start being neutral towards them. And when you notice yourself in that resistant boat, you have to take that step back and say, what good is it going to be for me to fight with the monkey mind? That would be like fighting with a literal monkey. What what sense or how productive would it be for me to actually fight with a literal monkey? Because that's essentially what you're doing when you fight with a monkey mind. So when you notice yourself doing that, you got to take that step back and say, how productive is this going to be for me? This is not about resistance. This is about accepting that I feel this way or I have these thoughts, but I'm not going to compulsively fuel them with resistance, which is, what is resistance? Resistance equals fighting, right? Because you got to look at it like an energy exchange. If you're just dumping more energy with your resistance, aka your fight, with these thoughts and feelings, then of course they're going to get more energy than they deserve. If you don't want something to grow, stop feeding it, right? Again, thank you so much, Cassie, for the $5 tip. Thank you so much. And Jerry, thank you so much too, guys. I appreciate it. You guys are awesome. I love you guys. Someone says, even if I'm around a trigger, don't fight. Well, you're more than welcome. Anybody in the chat is more than welcome to continue to fight. But once you get sick of that, and once you want a true change, then we'll try a different approach, right? And that's basically what it comes down to. Eventually, people get sick of living the way that they're living, and they realize that the fight isn't working. Something's not going right here, or else, if the fight worked, I would be over it by now. And that's why you eventually found my channel, because you're sick of the way that you're living. So everybody and anybody who watches my videos or is in the chat is more than welcome to continue fighting with their thoughts and feelings. You're more than welcome. That is your choice. That is your right as a human being. Nobody can take that away from you. But once you get to the point where you're sick of living the way that you're living and you're ready for a change, then we can try a different approach, right? Then we can try a different approach. And when you're ready for that, of course, the advice will always be right here for you. But you have to be willing to make that choice, and that's something that nobody can do for you. But if you're ready to make that choice, if you're willing to make that choice, the advice will always be right here for you, right? But that's something you have to decide for yourself on a deep level. Am I sick of living the way that I'm living? Is the fight that I'm giving to my thoughts and feelings, is it working? Well, I can kind of answer that question for you. If the fight that you were giving to your thoughts and feelings was working, you probably wouldn't be in my chat right now, right? Because you would have never had the urge to Google. You would have never had the urge to try to find some sort of support. You would have never had the urge to find some sort of advice if what you were doing up until that point was working. Because if it was working, it wouldn't have led to all the other stuff. It wouldn't have led to you being here now. So ask yourself that question, right? Ask yourself that question. Thanks to you, Wonder Bro. I did what you said and it worked. That's awesome, Joyce. That is awesome. You have taught your brain that these feelings and thoughts do not deserve to be fueled. They do not deserve more energy than they already have. And eventually they burnt themselves out and you retrained your brain. That is awesome and I'm so proud of you. Awesome, awesome, awesome. And, you know, again, guys, the analogy that we spoke about today, you've got a monkey that is tied to your hip, ball and chain. He might scream and yell sometimes, but what good is it going to do for you to get in his face and scream and yell at him? Is it just going to make the monkey even more upset? Yes. That's what would happen if you got into a monkey's face that was screaming and yelling and screamed and yelled back at him. He would just get more upset. So that's the same concept of you screaming and yelling at your thoughts and feelings, right? Same concept. And it's very helpful to take these analogies with you. It's very helpful. Very, very helpful. Guys, listen to him in 2 weeks from not going to work and living with my brother, now living alone again and going to work normal. Still on my journey. But oh man, dude, that is awesome progress. That is freaking awesome. I'm happy to hear that. Well, what we mean by act differently, it just means live your life. Don't curl up into a ball. Do things that you want to do. We don't mean that you have to, you know, accomplish everything in one day. Live your life simply means live your life. Do things that you want to do despite these feelings and thoughts. Just accept these feelings and thoughts. Accept that they're there, but you're living life for you. You're not being their bitch, right? So what it really comes down to is I have these feelings and thoughts. I can scream at the monkey and the monkey will get more upset. Or I cannot scream at the monkey and just live my life while the monkey screams. He'll eventually get tired. That's the route you want to go. That's the route you want to go. And all we mean, Arnold, by create distance, that doesn't mean you're trying to push it away. That just means you're just noticing it for what it is. Hey, there's that thought. There's that feeling. There's the emotion of anger. There's the emotion of sadness. There's that thought. That's what we mean by distance. It's not literal distance. It just means you're aware that there is a thought and feeling that is currently present. And then at that point, you are going to just live your life for you while you accept these thoughts and feelings, because you have two choices. Yell at the monkey and the monkey becomes more upset, or allow the monkey to just tire itself out. That's what it really comes down to. You can erase everything else. If it makes it easier for you, you can erase everything else. Focus on just that and think on that for a minute. You've got a monkey, your thoughts and feelings, that is screaming and yelling, aka unpleasant feelings and thoughts. You can yell at that monkey, but what good would it be to take a monkey? If you had a monkey, a real monkey in front of you, What good would it do to yell at that monkey? It's just going to make the monkey more upset. And the same concept applies to these negative thoughts and feelings. You need to just accept that they're there, live your life for you, and not go screaming at the monkey, dude, because screaming at a monkey is just going to make the monkey more upset. That I want you to just think on that and just erase everything else for a minute. What's up, Abel? Welcome, welcome. Welcome, welcome. Hope you're having a great day. So yeah, if that makes it easier on you, Arnold, just erase everything else that you think you know and focus on that analogy for a minute. The monkey that is attached to your hips is your thoughts and feelings. What good is it going to do if you scream at a monkey? You just got to let that monkey scream and not scream back at it. Because that's just going to piss the monkey off even more. So let's just erase everything else for a minute and just focus on that for a bit. Let that sink in. Let that really sink in. Cassie, thank you again so much for the tips. I appreciate you. I was just looking over everything. I appreciate you so much, and Jerry too. What if I've been yelling at my monkey mind for 6+ months? Then you're ahead of the game. You're ahead of the game because most people have been yelling at their monkey mind for 20+ years. So if you've only been yelling at your monkey mind for 6+ months, then you're ahead of the game. You're 100% ahead of the game. It does not matter about the time. It does not matter about the time. Just because you've been yelling at it for this long or this long or this long doesn't mean it's going to take that long for it to calm down. It'll start to calm down and get the message as soon as you stop doing that, right? It doesn't mean because I've been yelling at it for 20 years, now I got to do 20 years worth of work, right? It doesn't work like that. So that's the good news. Oh. Cassie says, great stream, you're always so chill. I appreciate that. I try to be. So yeah, I want, what I really want is I want everybody in chat to kind of drop all the concepts for a second, right? So we have a lot of concepts here. We talk about a lot of metaphors. We give a lot of analogies. I just want to focus on the main point of the stream for a second. I want to drop all the concepts. I want to drop all the metaphors. I want to drop all the analogies. And I just want to focus on the main point of the stream for just a second. Erase all that you think that you know for just a second. You can pick it right back up as soon as we're done. But I want you to just think deeply on the analogy of you've got a monkey that is tied to your hip, and there's nothing you can do about that. You can't, it's ball and chain. You can't cut it, right? There's no cutting that ball and chain off. That's not necessarily a problem. It becomes a problem when the monkey is agitated, aka you have anxious feelings or anxious thoughts. That's what it means when the monkey becomes agitated. When the monkey becomes angry, is when you have anxious feelings and anxious thoughts and so forth and so on. That's when the monkey is agitated. Now you have two choices. You can literally bend down, bend over, and look that monkey in the face and start screaming at it, which is what you've been doing for so long by fighting with these thoughts and feelings. And what's that going to do if you screamed at a real live monkey? It's going to make the monkey more upset. It's going to make it more agitated. It doesn't speak English. It's not going to say, "Okay, you're right. I should just calm down now. I see you're angry, so maybe I should just calm down now." That's not how a monkey works. If you actually bent over to the monkey that's tied to your hip and started screaming at it because it was screaming, aka you had anxious thoughts and feelings, that's not going to make that monkey shut up. That's going to aggravate the monkey. That's going to upset the monkey. That is going to agitate the monkey. And the monkey's just going to scream louder now, right? Or you can start to take the acceptance route and go the route of, okay, I've got this monkey attached to my hip. It's screaming and it's yelling. I can't just do away with the monkey. There's nothing I can really do about that. However, I can resist the urge to get down on my knee and start screaming at this monkey because, after all, it is a monkey. And it's not going to learn that way. It's not going to be quiet that way. I'm just going to make it more upset, right? So those are your only two choices. Those are your only two choices. Now, the people that end up sensitized are the people who have been screaming at their monkey to a very obsessive amount. They've been doing a very obsessive amount of screaming at their monkey, and they've really, really got that thing worked up, right? But whether you're sensitized or not, this applies to you. This is great life advice. So those are your two choices. And that's the only concept I want you to kind of think on for a minute. That's the only analogy I want you to kind of internalize for a second here, right? Drop everything else that you think you know for a second, and just really think on that for a minute, because that kind of explains it all. You can get on with your day while you've got this monkey chained to your hip and he's screaming and yelling. You can just get on with your day and not fight with the monkey. That's the two main keys right there to recovery. When we say the two main keys, that's them right there. You can continue on with your day while this monkey is on your hip, screaming and yelling, but you're not fighting with him. You're just living your life, not fighting with the monkey. Eventually, the monkey is going to get tired because he's got no reason to continue yelling because you're not giving him a reason to. Eventually, he's going to get tired. Maybe not instantly, maybe not as quickly as we would like, but eventually he's going to get tired. Or you can go the route that you've been going so far, which is what landed you on this channel, which is to grab the monkey and shake it and scream at it and yell at it. And you best believe, you best bet your ass that is going to piss that monkey off, and he's only going to get louder. He is only going to get louder, as you already know, because you would not be here watching this stream right now if shaking the monkey worked, right? Right? You would not be here. Okay? You would not be here if that worked. So it's really your choice. It's really your choice moving forward. But I want you to drop everything that you think you know just for a minute and really internalize everything that I just said, that analogy. Because it's going to it's going to make it clear to you what we mean by live your life and stop fighting with the mind, right? If you really take a second to internalize that analogy, it's going to make it clear to you what we mean by the two main keys. Exactly, Cassie, exactly. So when those thoughts come and you're not scared, that's great, I guess. Yes. Yes, I mean that probably hints at that you're starting to heal. The nerves aren't overreacting. But regardless, again, the analogy with the monkey is the way you need to go, right? because I'm starting to laugh at them now. Yeah, that's normally what happens. That's a great sign. That's normally what happens when you start to enter into not such a sensitized nervous system. You start to find it hilarious the things that the sensitized nervous system used to overreact to. So that's a great sign. You're obviously on the right track there. Congrats, congrats, congrats. And not everybody goes at your pace. Not everybody is going to be as quickly to latch on to what we're talking about here, and that's fine. You should be proud of yourself. You latched onto that very quickly and you nailed it. But not everybody's going to be like that, and that's fine. It took me a long time. It took me a lot longer than 2 weeks, I'll tell you that. Um, a quick recovery is absolutely possible, but most of the time it does take practice. It does take a firm understanding, and that's fine too. There's nothing wrong with that. Hey Jason, thank you so much for subscribing, dude. I appreciate it. If anybody watching this right now is debating on whether or not they should subscribe, this is your sign. If it's helped you at all, help me out. Help me out a little bit by hitting the subscribe button, and then we'll call it even. We'll call it even. Completely free to subscribe, and we are so close to the 10K mark. And not only does it help me, but it helps other people get the advice too, right? Because the bigger the channel grows, the more people I can reach. So if you take 2 seconds to like the stream or subscribe if you're not already subscribed, it helps everybody. Does the content of the thoughts matter, or is it just that the thoughts are individually tailored to give us an urge to fight them? You are right. The contents of the thought does not matter. We need to drop context. We need to drop context, because when you get wrapped up in context, then you're more likely to fall down the rabbit hole of trying to problem solve, which is just wasting your time because you're fighting with a monkey. You're fighting with a monkey, right? If there's a real problem in your life, you'll solve it. Don't worry. You can use your mind. It's a great tool. You'll be able to use it. You can problem solve. If it's not a real problem, or it's not currently a real problem, or, you have to be the decider of that. But I'm here to tell you 99% of the time, it's not worth fighting with the monkey. But let's say you are actually a problem right in front of you now, or something that you can actually do something about or solve, right? Like, let's say, for example, somebody breaks into my house. I've got a problem-solving mind that I can then use. Anxiety and panic will kick in, and I can make the best choices that I can make, right, in that moment. But other than real-life problems or things that we can actually do something about, I'm here to tell you, 99% of the time, you need to drop context, because it's pointless and you're just fighting with the monkey. I'm telling you. Rarely ever do we encounter real problems that we can do something about and use our mind to do something about. Rarely ever. Most of the time, it's just all BS that ends up never happening anyway, so you're wasting your time fighting with the monkey. But I wouldn't be on this stage without your videos, man. As I taught was going insane, but it's a journey. Hey, you're doing good, dude. So proud of you. So proud of you, dude. Whew, I need to get something to drink, man. I'm gonna have to go get some water. Hey, you don't have to do that, Jesse. You don't have to go through all that extra work, dude. It's like it was like I was telling the stream earlier. It's not life or death, right? Right. It's just I would like to get a new AC unit if I can, and if I can't, that's fine too. There's nothing wrong with that. It's okay. The same applies to those emotions too, Arnold. You're doing good, dude. You have your good days. You need to give yourself props for how far you've come. You got this, Kristen. Everybody here's got the concept, because the concept is easy enough to understand. You've got a monkey tied to your hip. That is your anxious thoughts and feelings. And if you fight with the monkey, he's only going to get more upset. Like, everybody can understand that. That's a simple concept, but practicing might take some time. And that's fine. Out here in AZ, it's life or death. It is life or death. Yeah, it's not life or death here. I mean, like, don't get me wrong. It's hot as fuck in here, and I'm boiling. but I'm gonna survive. I'm not that worried about it. It's just really hot, but it's not life or death. It's not life or death. We're just going through a heat wave or something right now. I don't know. Yeah, you don't have to go through all that extra effort for me, Jesse. It'll be fine. I couldn't imagine being out there, Jesse. If I think it's hot here, then it's probably 10 times worse there. You right, Cassie. You right. You right. I just don't want anyone to feel obligated. That's all it is. I just don't want anyone to feel obligated. It's not a big deal. When will our lizard brains evolve to stop giving us anxious thoughts and feelings when they are not needed? That's the next big step in human evolution, my friend. We're getting there. Slowly, very, very slowly, we're getting there. Hopefully, hopefully some point down the evolution timeline, the brain will figure that out and become a little bit wiser when it comes to what to pop off over. But as of right now, it's kind of stupid in that way. But good thing we have the tools to keep it in check, right? Next big step. Next big step in human evolution. It served us well back in the caveman days. Not so much now. Remember, you're not trying to make the monkey do your bidding. Let him have fun. In return, he'll not bother you. You'll be used to him. We're playing like if it was a pet. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Jesse got it. Post stream. Because your boy's got to get some water. I am going to go ahead and stop the music for now because while I'm gone, I don't want that playing an ad on accident. Alright, I'm going to get some water, guys, and I'll be right back. All right. All right. We got some water. Casey says some. No, Arnold says water. We got some water. Stay hydrated, folks. Stay hydrated. Goes around motel with bucket. Donate your money to Wonder Bros. AC Fund. People, come on out. Give us your coins. That's a good way to get fired. Where'd our music go, chat? There we go. There we go. Let's see. Did anyone else join us over on the Discord? We got somebody new over on the Discord. Do you have any advice about how to stop caring about what others think? That is a good question. So, as far as caring about what other people think, we can really, really get caught up in that, can't we? We can really, really get caught up in that. And again, it's remember how earlier we said don't worry about the context of the monkey mind? Again, this comes back to monkey mind. Because why do we care about the way people think about us? Why do we care about the way people judge us? Why do we care? What makes us care about that? The monkey mind. It's the monkey mind who picks up on all this and then starts screaming and yelling, starts saying whatever. Oh, these people are judging you for this. These people think this about you. It's the monkey mind. Again, it's the monkey mind again at play, at work. So same concept. Same concept applies as everything that we mentioned today. The monkey mind's going to try to get you involved. It's going to try to get you aggravated. It's going to try to get you frustrated. It's going to try to get you invested. It's going to try to get you screaming and yelling. Now, we can either scream and yell back at the monkey mind, or we can let it tire itself out. And the same thing applies to thoughts about maybe this person's judging me for this, or maybe this person's judging me for that. It's the monkey mind screaming and yelling, coming up with all these concepts that probably aren't even true, right? I mean, that's something we should throw in there. That probably aren't even true. And we can either start screaming and yelling back at the monkey mind, or we can let it tire itself out, right? Flow like water, Arnold. Flow like water. You don't have to figure everything out. You're spending your life trying to figure it all out, trying to map out the perfect feelings. I only want to feel this way and I only want to have these thoughts. You got to take the good with the bad. You got to take the rain with the sunshine. And there's no way around that. You can't escape that. But what you can do is you can stop making yourself suffer by just allowing that monkey to scream and yell, aka these thoughts and feelings, and not screaming and yelling back at it and just fueling it, right? Stop trying to figure it all out. You got to take the good with the bad. There's nothing you can do about that. But you can stop screaming and yelling at the monkey. And that's going to make your life tremendously better. sky. That's amazing progress, though. The main key is you spoke in one of your videos. Know who you are and real. You need that. Yeah, so basically, when you say I subconsciously think people are judging me, basically what that roughly translates to is my monkey mind is going haywire over this concept, right? So you can either fuel the monkey mind by screaming and yelling back at him, or you can allow him to scream and yell and not scream back at him, right? And eventually he'll tire himself out. Same concept applies to all these thoughts and feelings, and that's really what acceptance is in a nutshell. All right, guys, we are approaching that 2 hour mark, so I'm going to go ahead and end it here. Wow, I did not know we were going on for almost 2 hours now. All right, guys, I'm going to go ahead and end this one here. Thank you so much for watching. I love each and every one of you with all of my heart. Thank you, thank you, thank you. We are so close to 10K, so if you're looking for a sign to subscribe, this is it. All right, you guys, I'm going to go ahead and get out of here. I love you, and until next time, as always.